And welcome back to the second segment here on Home Track Heroes for this rainy night in Monroe as we recorded this racing action. And we're going to go to a segment here in a couple of seconds, but I think it's going to be super interesting. And Kyler went down and asked just one simple question: what's it like to run in the rain? And I'm really curious to get the different answers.
And as we mentioned earlier, racing in the Pacific Northwest in the springtime, you're going to get some rain. And most racetracks closed down tonight. Evergreen Speedway out there doing what they do best.
All right, let's get the umbrella up, and we're going to head down to the pits with Kyler.
I'm Jimmy Amsher, a racer of the mini stock number 26 here in Washington. Today the weather forecast is rain. It's a little challenging. You got to pay attention to your car and everybody around you. It's going to be slick, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be interesting.
Hi, I'm Calvin Miller, driving the 49 Street Stock here tonight, and racing in the rain was a lot more fun than a Hornet car in one of these, actually. It changes a lot, the track changes a lot, so you got to try and find the driest line you can, pay attention a lot more, and take half as much when you're racing these people.
Steve Cox, Super Stock Figure 8, number 32. The rain, love it. It's a totally different element, and if you're smooth, and it's just all about driver at that point, and that's why I think I like it so much.
I'm Riley Odell, driver of the number 20 Youth Hornet. Racing in the rain, it's not that great. Racing in the sun's a lot better. Racing in the rain, you can't get grip at all. It's really slippery. You always feel like you're gonna crash. Sun's definitely a lot better.
Hi, this is Mike Jensen, driver of the 521 Liuna Local 292 Volkswagen mini stock. Thoughts of driving in the rain today? Gonna have to run the high groove. It's really wet down on the bottom, so run the high groove and just stay out of trouble.
I wrote down one note. I'm with Riley.
3, love it. 1 not. But there's that experience when you start talking about like Steve Cox. He knows what he wants to do. He likes it. The young kids, they'll learn. They'll figure it out.
All right. Before we get to our B main event for 15 laps coming up for our Interstate Battery Youth Hornets, want to throw a shout out to Speedway Chevrolet. You can visit Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe for customized trucks, lifted trucks, work trucks, and Speedway Chevrolet can locate the truck that fits you the best. Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center also wants your trade and will buy or consign your vehicle or RV and take the hassle out of selling it on your own. So check them out. They've been a long time sponsor out here, and we really appreciate them. Okay, let's go Youth Hornet racing. In the 44 will be Olivia Reppin, brought to you by Reppin Welding and Rail. Outside of Olivia in the number 190 is Riley Gillespie in the Olympics Peninsula Stone Car.
In the second row, it's the 19X of Elijah Delfell, sponsored by Everett Mazda outside of Elijah. In the 79, it's the Cooking with Mary Weber, driver Luke Weber, and rounding out the field in the 15 car, it's Keegan Krieger, and the 18 car of Paisley Bender.
All right, here we go. 15 laps, and typically the top 4 will move up to the back of the A main event, but we'll kind of see how that works out as the Tom and my favorite car is the Evergreen Speedway Chevrolet Pace car. We got to, and should take a minute to thank Evergreen Speedway. We had drifting the week prior to this, so Tom and we climb in the Evergreen Camaro and head down to Grays Harbor Raceway, and probably not a car for a couple old codgers like us, but man, did that thing get attention, and that's all it's designed to do. So,
and we had to be on our best behavior
yes,
driving.
We did.
That was probably the most difficult.
All right, here we go. John Peterson has got the green flag in hand, and here comes Riley Gillespie out to a lead. They're going to be out on our 5th mile flat track. Let's see. Yeah, they might go close. Let's see which way it's going to go. But Youth Hornet B main event, and looks like they're just going to stay on the 5th mile flat track, which is going to be fun for them. And this has got to be so angst-ridden for these young people.
Well, these are kids as young as 12 years old, so they're not even close to being licensed on the road, and here they are racing, getting that experience. This is a great place for them to start. They learn to race, and that means passing cars, working traffic, all those sorts of things. It's easy to go fast, it's not easy to be a good race car driver.
And I'm impressed early on with Paisley Bender, the 18 car. Look, she's gotten already around a couple of cars and moved up into that 4th spot right behind the 15 of Keegan Krieger. From Luke Weber, who we saw earlier, giving his opinion. I kind of like how the approach he took to it. He says, let's just go. Let's have some fun. And Riley Gillespie still taking the lead in that number 1 race.
And they're on a short track. We don't want them going that fast. We don't want to hurt them. But remember one thing is they slide down through there. Oh, we'll just kind of give them a little help. This is a flat race. It will be the last track to dry. It's going to stay wet all night long, even if the rain does stop.
Well, you can kind of see when they get on the high point of turn number 3 there's a big puddle of water that a couple of them have kicked up, even though we're 4 laps into this. We're going to have 10 to go as they cross the line right there. It's still a lead now by Keegan Krieger in the 15 car, but Paisley Bender, who's really been impressive early on in this one. So, like you mentioned, we have 10 laps to go. Luke Weber in that 79 car, just seeing I'm pretty jacked up. Paisley is looking really good early on. Look at that low line. She took a low line. How impressive is that?
Well, and also remember that those first and second place cars, they started in the back. They were the last row starters. They worked their way through the traffic. And right now, Bender's moving that 18 car into the lead. Done a great job. Very, very smooth. Off turn 4. These young kids are so far ahead. When they hit the highway, you know, if you want to do something to maybe help make your child be a good driver on the street and be safe on the street, maybe you look at putting him in a youth Hornet.
You know, I had to kind of keep my eye on the 15 of Keegan Krieger when he came out of turn number 2. He so wanted to go down deep, go inside of the 18 of Bender, but the car and the conditions would not let him. Let's see if he can get that thing to stick. He really wants to get wide in turn number 2, but I'm impressed again with how low Paisley Bender was able to keep that 18 car down there.
That windshield wiper working hard, as you can see, giving him a little bit of vision. You know, another thing, running on in the rain, maybe something like running a dirt car, you know, where they run tear-offs and they get the mud splattered on them. Here, it's the rain, it's the mud, because this rain is not clear. It's hitting the racetrack, picking up some of the debris, the dirt, and that sort of thing, especially if they get off track. But right now, Bender doing a great job in that car, put together by her father, John Bender, a guy who logged a lot of laps here at Speedway and different types of cars.
Yeah, no kidding. He's just been one of the great names out here over the course of many, many years of Evergreen Speedway being in operation. 4 laps to go. You can see her there, Paisley Bender, with nice position in turns 1 and 2. Keegan Krieger really moved up and looked impressive in this one. Second spot, Luke Weber in 79 in third. Then we go back to the 19X of Elijah Delfelt. 190 car of Riley Gillespie.
That Delfelt car, that Delfelt name has to be tied into Mr. Doug, the Grizz Delfelt. So cool to see. You know what would be interesting if you interviewed those 4 drivers, to see how they do tonight and then get an update, if you would, of how they think about racing in the rain after they've done it.
Yeah.
I suppose if you win, you're going to love it. If you run in the back, you're going to hate it.
Okay, here we go. They're going to come around and get the white flag when they get out of turn number 4. Trying to see what, let's see, that is Reppin is just going across in that 4 car. I like that one with the shark drawing on the side of it. So get the final lap here, and then we are going to go down to interviews with our B-main event winners. I believe Greg Pyland is going to be down there doing that. White flag, you can see it waving right there. And all right, here she comes out of turn number 4. Checker flag out, and it is all Paisley Bender for our Interstate Battery Youth Hornet B-main event.
You were in the B-main event tonight, but you had a great race. What was it like racing out in the rain tonight?
It was a lot different than when it's not raining out, but I got the hang of it.
Excellent. You had a great race tonight. Who do you need to thank for being out of the racetrack?
I'd like to thank JBR, Joe's Racing, Cox Wheels Racing, 2.5 Men Barbecue, my dad, my mom, and my sister for giving me awesome pointers, my uncle and my aunt, and Mike Marshall.
Keegan, tell us a little bit about the race tonight. What was the funnest part about racing in the rain?
I got a good lead at the start, and it's a little bit rough in the rain, but we had a good setup and we got through it.
You had a great race tonight. Who do you need to thank for being out at the racetrack on a Saturday night?
Aaron Hospin, Science Stop, my parents, of course, and Matt Snyder.
Awesome. Keegan Krieger, let's have a big round of applause for Keegan. Luke, do you have a lot of fun out there tonight?
Yeah.
Good. And who do you need to thank for being out at the racetrack tonight, Luke?
My family and John and Roxanne Lewis.
Excellent. Awesome. All right, let's have a big round of applause for the 79 of Luke Weber.